I was working on my album Disposable Arts. We're down to the last couple songs. I had the song Don't Understand, real dope beat produced by Paul Nice, and I had this idea to get Greg Nice to do the hook because he's just energy, and I wanted him to basically replicate what he had done on this Nice and Smooth song, but I wanted him to do it on my song, Pumping in Your Beamer, Pump It Like This. So I get in touch with Greg, and back then we had budgets, so it was like, yo, I got bread for you, come through. No problem, Ace, I got you. He comes to the studio, goes in the booth, and I mean literally knocked it out like 2 takes. Killed it. He even did like this whole long speech at the end of the song and everything. The hook was dope. This whole long speech at the end, he just set the whole song off. I was like, this is a banger. We settle up, boom, 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 give him his bread, peace out, because he really had to be somewhere else. He dips. Go in the room, engineer's in there doing whatever he's doing. And this is before Pro Tools now. Hits record and then goes, oops. What you mean, oops? Yo, I think I just recorded over the stuff he said at the end. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me right now. Like, he's gone. Like, this is the last song. Like, we gotta mix this and it's a wrap. So if you listen to that song, at the end of the song, you'll hear him come in halfway through. He's in the middle of saying something and he just comes in, MASH by the M to the A, y'all. That was a whole long speech that happened before MAShed that got erased and could not be recovered. So thank you for Pro Tools being invented years later, because we could have just been undo and we'd have been good money. Here's a memorable studio moment. Working on my first album, and how my song Music Man came to be. Back then, I was working out of Marley Marl's crib. He lived up in Spring Valley. He had the crib in the studio. The studio in the crib. And so we would spend the night. Sometimes Craig G would be there, sometimes I would be there. This particular day, I think I spent the night. Craig was coming later that day. And Marley back then, we would be in the studio 4 or 5 in the morning, and then he would go to bed upstairs and we would crash in the basement. So I crashed, fell asleep or whatever. I wake up, I know it's like 11. He not getting up no time soon. He sleep mad late. So I'm got nothing to do. So I start going through his records, and I'm like literally just going through records, listening to joints, just trying to find loops or whatever. So I put the needle down on this record and the beat comes on, and I'm like, oh, this is dope. And I back the needle back up. When I back the needle back up, he comes walking downstairs, what's that? What's that? I said, I don't know, I just found something. He's like, move, move, move. Grabs it, puts the sampler on, samples it, boom, 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 starts doing his little magic, chop, 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 boom, boom, boom. Music Man. Like, I was like, okay, this was meant to be. Because for him to come down at that moment when I put the needle down and go, what's that? Let's use that. And that's how that song came to be. Shout out to Marley Marl for being a genius. The big thing I learned from Marley was how to make your songs have low end. I was actually around when he was working on the LL Mama Said Knock You Out album. I saw him mix Booming System, and there was these really low tones that was making the songs knock at a deeper level than any 808s that I had ever heard before. And I asked him what that was and how did he create that. And he gave me his secret of how he created that low end. And I took that sound and I incorporated it into my next several records. And that's really what pushed me in the direction of doing music that was about Jeeps and systems and bass and boom. It was those experiences, being in the studio while Marley was working on the LL Cool J Mama Said Knock You Out album. And that's, if nothing else, I took that away from it.